Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Jordan here bringing you another video. Today we've got episode 7 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode here in NHL 26. Now today's episode should be interesting. We've got the draft. If you remember right, I believe we have the 10th or 12th pick in the draft. Go ahead here, look at the draft board. We know for sure. Yeah, we're picking 10th. We got 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a sixth, and we've actually got 3 7th rounders. Now, we're not going to make all these picks. We are looking to move up. We want our boy here, Landon DuPont. We missed out on McKenna, and we've got McKenna in New York. So we want to make sure we get Landon DuPont here to be the next franchise player. So it's going to be interesting. And then after the draft, we've got a couple of contracts we got to deal with, right? The big three being Pickering, Lekkerimaki, and Rutger McGroarty. Now, we are going to look to move Pickering at the draft just because he wants so much money, right? $7.4 million. 23 points and a -10. Sure, he played 22 minutes ice time. You're not a $7 million defenseman, right? We know this. Just because we're a rebuilding team and you played that many minutes doesn't mean you're actually a top two defenseman. Lekkerimaki, on the other hand, he wants a decent deal, right? 6.3 for 4 years. We'll most likely look to go in the 2 to 3 year range just to keep him as an RFA, or we might look to go 6, 7, 8 years. I just lock him up long term. The other player we got to deal with is Rutger. I think I would be more comfortable again with a 3 to 2 year deal. Right, we don't want to go the 4 years because it puts him at a UFA, and we could go long term with him already. We don't have any goalies up except for Bloomqvist, who we're not sure we're going to bring back yet. But let's start going here. We've got a long episode ahead of us. Let's get going here. We'll go through the retired players first. You got Letang. I really wish we could have made, kind of had him retire here, right? But it just made too much sense to move him, especially once he waived. But he calls it a career. On the bright side, he only played playoff games in Pittsburgh. But he gets the one season in Ottawa and he calls her quits. He looks to be about the only one, right? You've got McNabb, Goudreau there in San Jose, Jensen, Hutton, Larson, Delorier, etc. Not a lot of elite talent there. And goaltending wise, you've got Campbell as the highlight. We didn't lose any coaches in retiring, so that is good. You got a bunch of players becoming scouts. We're actually going to skip draft class interviews in this video. We're just going to hop straight into the draft here. We know what we want to do, and we kind of have a good idea of what all these players already are. No sense in interviewing them when we already know, right? So we're going to go with our first and second. We'll see if that goes through. Trade rejected. Got to start somewhere, right? Skaters matching the block. They do want Chase Reed. They want Silyav. They do want Pickering. So what if we want like Pickering and Silyav as well? I think we want to hold on to Silyav maybe since he is that DFD. We're going to need a couple of DFD to play with our offensive defensemen there in Willander, Yakimchuk, as well as DuPont if we make this trade go through. Don't have a lot of forward prospects, so we don't really want to get rid of those. Maybe, just maybe we can get rid of Horkoff if we have to. Let's see, does this go through? Does not. We'll add another defenseman on there just to try to smooth things over. See if this goes through. They want Kesselring. They don't want Pickering. So what if we go back to skaters matching the block? We give them Chase Reed. Again, he's an offensive defenseman. We're already going to have 2 or 3 of those. We don't really need another one. And just to try to push this over the edge, not something I want to do a lot of in this series, but we are going to go ahead and trade a future first as well. If this goes through, trade rejected. We can get rid of one of those players and see. We're going to run out of time. That's the only problem. If we give them their second back, it's not good enough. This might be foolish. I'm going to go ahead and give them another first round pick. I really want to make this happen. Value's too far off, so we're not going to be able to make it work. So unfortunately, guys, we aren't getting Landon DuPont in Pittsburgh. But hey, on the bright side, since we don't have him here, maybe we go after him in New York. Shame that we're not able to pull that off. I really wanted him, and it really sets us back. So we're going to just right away, I think, start trading. Again, we want to move up into the top 5. The Senators want to trade their pick. I don't think trading for the 7th is the play. Right at 7th, you've got what? Maybe Pelosi's left, maybe Bathel, but you're looking at a Jacobson in England or a Penkin. I don't think those are good enough. So let's start trading here with Anaheim. I had to add Pickering to this deal. Does that go through? Trade rejected. Alrighty. Do they want Chase Reed? They don't want Chase Reed. What if we give them Chase Reed? There we go. Not exactly what we wanted to give up, but you know what? It's worth it for us to get our center of the future. Again, I like Bjork better as a center. So with the 2nd overall pick in the 2027 NHL entry draft, your Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the St. John Sea Dogs of the QMJHL, Alexei Joseph. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. He's got the big rig. He's already got good faceoffs at 79 overall. He's that big body power forward. He's going to fit in great in Pittsburgh. Not going to say he's going to be the next Crosby because obviously that might be a bit of a stretch, but he is going to be that number 1 center of the future and hopefully lead our team to many Stanley Cups. So with that, we were able to get rid of Pickering. Again, would have loved to keep him. He just wanted too much money, and we've kind of got a backlog, right? Kesselring, he's still around. We'll hold on to him. You've got Wielander, Yakimchuk, Clevin, Liljegren, Siliev, Kyrou, Brunnicki. It's 8 or 9 defensemen there that can all easily be in the NHL. Pickering wanting too much money, it just makes sense to move on. I want to see if we can move up to the 7th. Give us another prospect in this draft to help kind of speed things up. Now, we don't really have too much to trade. Again, don't really want to trade Kesselring. Definitely open, though, to trading Horkoff and Brunnicki. I don't think that's going to be enough. It's going to be close. Honestly, instead of trading Brunnicki, would we maybe trade Kesselring here? As the Vegas Golden Knights, they get Latinen. Good for them there. Good player to pick up. I just don't trust that Horkov is going to grow, and that could just be, stupid on my part. He already is 75 overall, 74 overall at age 20. He at least 2 years in the AHL before he's NHL ready. Kesselring, I think he just fits what they need a little bit better. And if we're going to go tank right, let's get the young guys in the lineup. We don't need to hold on to him. Now, I want to see if maybe we get a 5th, and then we just throw on here our 3rd round pick and our 6th round pick. Let's see, can we get the 7th from Ottawa? Trade rejected. Okay, let's get rid of this 5th. Trade rejected. Okay. Draft pick-wise, we need our 2nd. We could just load up, right? Throw a few 4ths on there, but I just don't think it's going to happen. You look at that. There you go. It happens with the 4ths. So let's go ahead. Start simming. Let's start moving the episode along. We're already fairly deep into it. So at 7th, we've got Blonda here, Penkin, England, and Jacobson. And I already know, 7th overall pick. Shout out to my boy Hockey FN. We're going to draft from his Brandon Wheat Kings in the WHL, Jackson Jacobson. And yeah, I knew he was medium elite, so you get another medium elite talent in the system. He's a left wing center. He's McKenna-esque. Obviously, he's not going to be that franchise player that McKenna is going to be, but he's going to help us big time. And now, with our 2nd round pick, we're going to go ahead and get our goalie of the future. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Nathaniel Chisicks. 69 overall already out of the draft for a goalie is actually insanely high. That's awesome. Love to see that, the medium elite. And wow, pick before San Jose actually gets Adam Coate? Antoine Coate. Wow, medium elite in the 3rd round. That's pretty good. Let's see what there is available. And we want to try to hit value here. See if there's any good confirmed talent. We've got this gem here. Matthias Hammerlick. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Top six low. Already 65 overall. Out of the draft is pretty big for a player of that potential. Go ahead and see. We don't really know too much. So let's see what is here available around the pick. I don't know if we've drafted a defenseman yet. I don't think so. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Goldman there playing in Liga. Low top four. All right, we'll take that all day. And with our last pick here, or I hope it's our last pick, we're going to go ahead, see what kind of cool names are out there. We're going to go ahead and take a chance on this player out of the OHL. Peterborough Eats, Aiden Young. 20 years old, 66 overall. He's going to probably slot in on the fourth line. We actually have one more pick. I thought that was our last one. Let's go ahead and see what do we got for players rest of the world. There's nothing. Let's see. Can we find a interesting flag out here? You know what? Let's get this goalie out of the Ukraine, Maxim Zamanov. There we go. AHL starter. We have another pick. Oh my goodness. I thought we were done with the picks, boys. We'll go ahead. We'll look for somebody from the USA West. Actually, you know what? We'll go USA East. Pittsburgh is USA East. Defenseman Jimmy Saunders with the last pick in the draft for us. There we go. 59 overall, 7th D-low. And you got to draft somebody, right? So you may as well take a shot on some guys. Very happy with our draft. We're already pretty deep into the video, but we're probably, I would say, about halfway done. And we got to do all our NHL coaches. Buka Boom is expired there for the scouts. Before we do anything, let's take a look here. We've got $53 million in cap space. So Lekar Amaki wants a 2-year deal at $5.1 million. Yeah, wasn't going to work for Lekar Amaki getting a long-term deal. So we'll do the bridge deal, 2 years, $4.8 million. Allows him to still be an RFA. Gonna have to take a look at Rutger here next. Again, he doesn't like the organization. It's gonna have to be a bit of an overpay. Only wants the 1-year deal. Gonna see if we can get him to 2. And we're gonna overpay a little bit, and we have the cap space to be able to do so. 4.2 for 2 years for Rutger. He'll get back to us. Now I'm just gonna go through. I'll get the rest done up off camera and just give you guys the highlights once we're ready to advance to the next day. All right, guys, we are getting ready to advance the first day. We have had some people accept. We decided to give Diego here, however you say his name, his ELC to play in the AHL. Defensively, we re-signed Joseph and Jones. We gave them pretty much what they wanted. We overpaid a little bit. We do want some veteran presence down in the AHL, but also the big thing was they wanted to come back to the organization, which is huge for me. And then prospect there, Kai Rue. There's a chance he breaks into the NHL next season, so we're looking forward to that. Forward-wise, we brought back Gushin here. We got Joseph and Jacobson to their ELCs. Jost wanted to come back as well as Anderson Dolan, so we brought back these guys. Again, 2 vets for the AHL can possibly do 4th line NHL. And then we've got Sharon here and Aiden Young. And you got Jordan Sharon. We didn't just draft him, but we decided to sign him instead of letting him go. Now you're going to see here we go to all expiring. We've offered a few deals, but we're going to let Olofsson go even though he wants to come back. Heinen doesn't want to come back. Rizzo, Sprong, they don't want to come back. We did send one deal out to Hollander, and then we're just going to let the rest of these guys walk. Again, if they don't want to come back, I'm not forcing them here. So let's go ahead. See who accepts. Hollander does accept. That's nice. Lekar Amaki as well. Nice to see Milano stick around. Rutger as well. There we go. Everyone we gave deals to decided to stay. Everybody else is going to go. Again, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We want to rebuild this AHL organization. Blomqvist most likely gets traded no matter what, even if he accepts this qualifying offer, which I don't think he will. And I just want to show you guys here. Milano's deal is 3.1 for 2 years. He did want to come back, so I thought we'd bring him back and good to overpay. Now we've got $43 million of cap space to work with. So we're going to be big players in free agency. We're going to go ahead here, though. We've got a couple of coaches to lock up. Dan Muse. I have no complaints with Dan Muse. 77, 71, and 16. Remember, we've asked him to come in and be the coach as a rebuilder. We're going to go ahead and bring him back, and there's nothing saying we can't fire him in the future if we need to. We're not going to offer him the max, though. We'll give him $7 million for 6 years. And then you've got Noah Merricks. He's got the good teaching and coach influence. He's a defenseman coach. So I actually want to keep him around just because I like his teaching and coach influence. I think that's nice. Oh, no, he wanted to be the head coach. Oh, shit. We'll just fire him. My bad. I didn't see that's what he wanted to be. This guy, we're also just going to let go of him too. And none of our AHL coaches is up. My apologies, guys. I didn't realize that he wanted to be the head coach. I should have been paying more attention to that. So hopefully just those guys. As we look to get towards free agency here, Dan Muse, he accepts. That's nice. Gerwell accepts. So we've got a few coaching positions we've got to fill here. Let's just get to July 1st. Bukaboom does accept. Bloomfist accepts. Poulin accepts. And Avery Hayes also accepts. So we have no more restricted free agents. We let go of a bunch of guys. We're ready to be big players here, like I said. Not a lot to be big players on, though. There's guys that want some money, but are they really that good? And again, do they really want to come here? Let's start by looking at the goalies. I want to see if there's any prospects. Arno High Finesse? He's already 25, though. I'm not going to sign him. There's Klang. I think we're actually good on goalies. There's not really anybody here that stands out to me that says, oh, we must sign them. So we'll hold off. Take a look at first the restricted free agents. You got Marchenko, Voronkov, and Evangelista. Honor Geeky actually is a interesting one. 3.725 is what he wants. Put on a 1-year deal if I gave you $4 mil. This year's second. I'm okay with that, actually. Let's see if we can get Connor Geeky into the fold. Connor Geeky is going to be the only restricted free agent we go after here. We do have money to spend. We're going to sort by overall, first things first, and we want to be like Cheadle, right? He's 27. He might be a little bit too good to come for us, but that's around the age group we want to be, right? And we'd go short term so that these guys understand, okay, we still will have a chance to win. If we don't get it in Pittsburgh, we're only 26, 27, 28, we'll still have that chance in a few years. What we've got here, Maxim Shabanov. We're going to give him a deal. He only wants the 1-year deal. Again, we have money to spend. We got to hit the cap floor. We're going to go ahead and make sure he comes to us. We're going to offer him 4.5. There you go. Welcome to Pittsburgh, buddy. We don't want to go too crazy, though, with the guys that are going to actually need to play. We want to maybe get one more defenseman. I'm looking at a guy like Perbix. He wants a 2-year deal at $4 million. We'll keep him on that 2-year deal, but we're going to offer him 5.5 just to get closer to that cap floor. We're not going to give him a clause, but at 2 years, he's 29. At the end of the deal, he'll be 31. Gives him an opportunity to come play big minutes in Pittsburgh. But then it gives him the opportunity to chase a cup in 2 seasons. Of course, he accepts. We're going to go ahead and bring in Alexander Holtz as well into the organization. Arseny Gertzik, we're actually going to leave alone. We're just looking at some younger players, see if we can't get some prospect-type players into the organization. Actually looking at a guy like Hayes here. He's only 19. He's already 72 overall. I'm pretty sure we just let this guy go, but screw it. Let's just sign him anyways. That does happen from time to time. And now we're going to sort by age, see what kind of player we could bring into the team as a pure cap move. A player who maybe has already won a Stanley Cup or is not really that, maybe it's not the biggest deal for them to win a cup. Trying to see. Andre Palat actually already has 2 Stanley Cups. He's 36 years old. A 1-year deal, and we're going to give him like, I don't know, 10 million. And we should be able to trade him at the deadline as well, right? Because we can just retain money and he won't even cost that much on the on the books, right? Because by that point, they're not the full $10 million cap hit. So that's what we're going to do. Help us hit the cap floor. And now we've got some contracts to look at. Crosby and Malkin will get extensions on January 1st in the next episode. Again, I'm not losing these guys. I will literally pay them whatever I have to for them to stay. I want them to retire as Penguins. I'm pretty sure all of you share that sentiment. We've got Phil Tomasino. We'll most likely re-sign him. He'll be a good third liner for us. But you got to look at the pieces that need deals here that are part of the future. So Willander's going to need a new deal, right? He cannot sign until January 1st. But Carter Yakimchuk, he can sign a deal. He wants to sign a deal. We can go anywhere to 4 years with him, and he would still be an RFA. What if we give him exactly what he wants? 3.4 on a 3-year deal. We're going to offer it. I don't think he's going to accept it, but we are going to offer it. We've actually got Clevin there, still restricted. Nobody else skater-wise stands out to me. We can't even sign Blomqvist and Mershov yet. Sogard, we will most likely be letting go. So that's going to do it for right now. I'm going to look at some scouting, some coaches off camera, and we'll pick this back up. I'm ready to see if we sign some of our guys and work our way towards the start of year number 3. So for our new NHL associate coach, we're going to go after Ricardo Cullen. I like this power play and penalty kill being at least a B. The teaching and coach influence as well is very nice. But he has a 62% roster fit, so maybe, we need an interim coach if we ever fired Dan Muse. Ricardo works for that, so hopefully he will accept that. All right, so for our assistant coach, we're going to go ahead and go after Brandon Wheel. Decent teaching, decent penalty kill, decent power play. He's that defensive coach. That's what we need, right? We've got a forward coach, generalist, and the goalie coach. So we need that defensive coach. Hopefully he accepts. As Ricardo Cullen decides to join, that's big for us. He's the guy we wanted. Brandon Wheel also accepting. There we go. The coaching is locked up there in the NHL. And Pamela, she does decide to come in and help things down in Wilkes-Barre. Geeky rejects. Carter Yakimchuk does accept. I'm kind of pissed off at the Geeky declined. Actually, very pissed off that he declined. How did another team... Did Tampa actually, or did he just reject? No, Tampa actually. All right, that's very interesting. We are going to try to bring in another fourth line forward, that depth player. Again, I want that guy that's already won a cup. So I don't have to feel too bad if he ends up not getting it. And Tanner Pearson is that. 34 years old. We could just give him the bag. Again, realistically, if any team offered this guy $7 million, he's taking it, even if it means he can't win a cup, because it sets him up for the rest of his life. So there we go. We're going to leave the rest of our contract spots open. Remember, there's no real prospects to go after. We're just going to wait and see what we need come the start of the regular season before we fill out the rest of the roster. And there's not much else to do. We do need to trade Blomqvist. Let's see. We get a 4th this year. There we go. We got what we're looking for. We've done all the moves, gave all the contracts. So we'll pick this up at the start of the regular season and take a look at what this roster looks like heading in to year number 3. So guys, here we are at the start of the regular season. Here are what the lines are looking at. We're going to run it back, baby, with Kuvanen, Crosby, Lekkermäki. He's at 87 overall. Kuvanen is. He's grown to top 6 forward high. Still on a really good contract, but just because of how much he has grown, potential trade bait, because he's definitely a lot higher than what he originally was, right? Potential trade bait for sure. You've got Vijo Bajork, 19-year-old. Remember, we picked this guy up in year number 1's draft. He gets the +2 with Malkin and McGroarty, and it was the only plus I could really figure out from the forward core. so I want to run it. Uh, he spent his year in the minors. He had 51 points, minus 11. It was a decent um, inaugural season for the kid in North America. So let's see how he does in the show. You've got Shabanov, Joseph, and Tomasino. And actually, there was some sort of combination here if I did this. But Rutger, I know he's listed as a third line scoring forward. I think he's a second line forward. In his rookie campaign, he did good things. So I think we should leave him on that second line. Give him a chance to prove that he is a second liner instead of making him play the third line. And then you've got Tomasino there on the wing with Joseph. And then this fourth line, Milano, Jost, Palat, could not get it to be anything but the -1, so it is what it is. Defensively, we're rocking Siliev, Willander, Klevin, Perbix, Graves, and Yakimchuk. Pretty good D pairs, and pretty much no matter what I do, I could switch this around, and we're almost guaranteed to get the +2s. Some variation of this. So that's pretty nice to know that these guys that we have in here for the future, that they fit proper. Got Shilovs as the starter with the rookie Murashov backing him up. Down there in the AHL, you got Sogard with Diego as the backup. And then you've got Ilian, Howe, Kindle, Holtz, Hollander, Gushin, Hayes, Bardakov, Poulin, and Aiden Young with Fernstrom and Anderson Dolan. On the defense, it's looking pretty good. You've got Bruneke listed as a depth D. We're going to give him one more year in the AHL. He hasn't played big minutes down here, right? He played 16, then he's got to 18. Let's get him up on the power play as well, right? Give him a chance to be a #1 defenseman. Hopefully that can help him grow into that top 6 to top 4 D that we need him to be. Kyrou, he is listed as a top 6 defender. We could potentially call him up to play in place of maybe Graves or Klevin, but he's not going to play in place of Yakimchuk. It's his time now. He needs to be in the NHL. And then we only have a couple of scratches, a goalie, 2 forwards, and a defense. In between episodes, I will fill out the rest of the AHL with a few healthy scratches. Remember, we do have injuries turned on. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. I think our team is set up good to where the young guys can get some growth. Crosby and Malkin can kind of stat pad, if you will, get those career numbers looking a little bit better. But again, we are set up for the future, right? We've got now 3 medium elite or high elite forwards in Bjork, Joseph, and Jacobson, right? Defense, we've got a medium elite and a couple top 4 highs. That's probably where we want to look to improve going into the next draft is getting a defenseman. This is the Schultz, Liam Pugh draft. There's quite a few created players in here, but there's a couple defensemen I'm going to be watching. Those defensemen are going to be Tucker Shingetime. Hopefully I'm saying that right. You've got Demetrius Wiles there in Portland, and we're also going to be watching Drew Daly and Jack Hare. Hopefully those guys, one of them pans out in a way, medium elite, high elite, and we can go ahead and pick them up. We also, hopefully we can get a goalie in this upcoming draft as well. It looks like there's quite a few slated to go in the first 3 rounds. I know we just drafted that medium elite goalie, but he's the only real prospect we have. We want to at least get one more. Let me know your thoughts on the episode down below. How do you think our draft was? I'm pretty happy with it. I think we made the right moves. We might have made ourselves worse right now, but again, it's rebuild time in Pittsburgh. If we're lucky, not this season, but next season, we might be good enough to give Crosby and Malkin one last run if they don't retire. Thank you so much for watching, YouTube. As always, I appreciate it so much. Make sure to subscribe. Turn that notification bell on so you don't miss a video. We're bringing you guys daily franchise mode content here, so you don't want to miss out. As well as make sure to join the Discord. You're going to see polls in there and just conversation about hockey and NHL, all that good stuff. As well as make sure to check out my Twitch link also in the description. Trying to be streaming there every single day as well, from about 8:30 in the morning Mountain Time to around 12:30. Again, YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts down below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.